That's how it works out, nigga. Sweat.
He used to break the bag.
Yeah.
He used to knock him down.
Heavy puncher.
The heaviest?
Yeah.
His strength was his everything.
Yeah.
And like this, and so, and so he pulling the big old truck on his shoulders and all this and stuff like that.
I've called him several times just to talk. Good guy. George is a great man.
His strength was everything. So he pulled in the big old truck on his shoulders and all this stuff, and I called him multiple times just to talk to him. That's how he works out, gets sweaty, and used to break his back. He also used to knock him down with a heavy puncher. George is a wonderful dude. Boxers have expressed their profound admiration for the late George Foreman, recognizing his amazing legacy and fearsome force. Legends such as Mike Tyson have acknowledged his unrivaled power. Even in his later years,
Floyd Mayweather used to just stand in front of the back, right? Just like that 40 minutes. Throw a couple hooks.
George Foreman, too. It's just the bag. That's how it works out, nigga. Sweat.
He used to break the bag.
Yeah.
He used to knock him down.
Heavy puncher.
The heaviest?
Yeah.
See, I thought that was you.
I can't match somebody's powers who's that big and that much mass. The only thing that allowed me to be excited because I do it faster than the other guys.
More explosive. How did you explode like that? Was that natural?
No, nothing's natural. It was nothing about me natural. Only my desire to win was natural. I had a great teacher.
Did he instill that desire in you, your coach?
No, only you can do that.
Yeah.
You're born with it and somebody can elicit it out of you.
Foreman knocked out elite fighters, solidifying his reputation as one of boxing's most feared and dominant champions. Tyson referred to Foreman as the hardest puncher ever, a man whose strength was so incredible that he used to break heavy bags during training. His punches carried devastating force, and opponents feared.
Just before the fight, I'm looking at him. I said, "Sucker, you are in trouble tonight. You are fighting the greatest fight of all times. You heard I was the greatest, like you just said you heard this, now you see it. I said, you said I was the greatest, but you're gonna see. I'm fast, sucker. I'm gonna burn you up. You're fighting your idol." I talked through the whole fight. I said, "Come on, sucker." I said, "Show me something. They told me you could hit hard. You're just a sissy. Come on, sucker. Show me something." Oh, I grabbed his head sometimes and I said, "Look at you. Round 7. And you're tired. You have 8 more rounds to go." And he's just throwing them. He's breathing. I said, oh, you finished, boy. You are in trouble. I said, "You don't have but 2 chances, slim and none."
Entering the ring with him during those 40 minutes, Mayweather would simply stand in front of the back right and throw a few hooks. That's how George Foreman works out. He used to break the B. Yes, he's the heaviest heavy puncher. I thought that was you. I can't match someone's power that big and that much math. The only thing that made me excited was that I do it faster than other guys. How did you explode like that? Nothing about me was natural. Only my desire to win was natural. Did your coach instill that desire in you? No, you're born with him. Muhammad.
Were you ever scared of anybody in the ring? Now be honest. Ali?
It's strange. I wasn't afraid of Muhammad. I lost the title to Muhammad, but I remember Joe Frazier. He was the toughest guy I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Smoking Joe Frazier. My mother watched him fight on television, and he hit a guy so hard the guy turned his back. And I kept thinking, I want to be champ of the world, but I sure hope Joe Frazier died. It was time to fight Joe Frazier, and I knew if you hit him, he liked it. If you miss him, he'd get upset. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? But I had this habit of staring guys down. I look them in the eye to psych them out. If they dropped their head, I knew I had an advantage, but I was hoping Joe Frazier wouldn't drop his head because my knees were shaking. At that time, I wish I had even started that.
Ali commended George Foreman for his tenacity and self-assurance in the ring. Ali also recognized that, even though he lost to Ali in the well-known Rumble in the Jungle, Foreman gave his all, demonstrating his incredible strength, heart, and warrior spirit. I was looking at him right before the fight, and I said, "Suckle, you're in trouble tonight. You're fighting the greatest fight of all time. You heard me say that I was the greatest, but now you see it. I'm going to burn you up. You're fighting your idol." I talked through the entire fight, saying, "Come on, sucker, show me something." They told me that you could hit hard, but sometimes I grab his head. Look at you, round 7, and you're exhausted.
Been throughout the years, if any, or would you like to share a little bit about that?
Well, George and I have always spoken to each other cordially. I've reached out and called him several times just to talk. Good guy. George is a great man.
You have 8 more rounds left, and he's just throwing them, breathing us. In 1973, I stated that your chances are minimal and none. Joe Frazier and George Foreman engaged in a fight that would go down in history. In this bout, Foreman displayed unmatched dominance by knocking down Frazier 6 times in just 2 rounds, resulting in a technical knockout and the WBA and WBC heavyweight titles. Frazier, the current heavyweight champion, was known for his relentless...
To like a world of hurt going into this fight.
Well, George Foreman always promoted his strength. His strength was his everything.
Yeah.
And like this, and so, he pulling the big old truck on his shoulders and all this and stuff like that. And so, I had people talking about, well, he did this, he did that. I said, look, hey, boxing is not all boxing. I said, no. I said, he got to try to hit me. I said, he's slow as Christmas. I said, he's slow as Christmas. I said, he's not fast. I said, so he throw these big shots. But the difference is that he got good timing. And so that's what I realized, because I pulled back, and by the time I pulled back from the shot ain't got done yet. Bam! I bring my head back because that's how slow he is. His timing, but he got right time. He know that you gonna come back at the right time when because he's supposed to be gonna miss me, and I come back.
Bam!
When I come back, it's coming. Oh,
yeah.
Right? So I realized, okay, then I got to dance around him a little bit and pack him like this, and so the whole big thing about boxing is making the guy come forth while you punching at the same time. That's how you can maximize your power on him. And I was able to do it sometime, but he was a good disciplined fighter. He didn't lose all this energy on me. He was able to push it off with the big arms and maul me. He kind of mauled me in the corner a lot. I couldn't even get out. He was so much stronger.
Fighting style, and had already defeated Muhammad Ali. Few had predicted such a lopsided result. Therefore, the stunning performance shocked the boxing community. It's funny, but I wasn't afraid of Muhammad after I lost him. However, I do remember Joe Frazier, who was the toughest person I've ever seen smoking. Were you ever afraid of anyone in the ring? When my mother watched Joe Frazier fight on TV, he hit a guy so hard that the Gotti turned his back. I kept thinking, I want to be the world champion, but I really hope Joe Frazier dies. It was time to fight Joe Frazier.
And redemption is a powerful word. It's a scary word. It's a powerful word. I know it firsthand. It's very powerful. Very powerful. And he had redemption on his side. George Foreman was a special man. Michael Moore was a special man. George Foreman got put into retirement by Muhammad Ali, really Jimmy Young, but Ali did it. And Ali broke down the monster that night in Zaire. He exposed the monster. He broke down this Herculean fighter that could knock down, walls. And he broke him down. And he made him live with that. He retired. He had one more fight. He got beat by Jimmy Young. Then he retired for 10 years. And he went into the church. He went into, God's work. And during those 10 years, he suffered privately. I know he did. He suffered privately what happened in Zaire. Because in some ways, maybe similar to Tyson, but I think he was stronger than Tyson in other ways, ultimately. But very similar, and similar backgrounds where they came from.
And I knew that if you hit him, he liked it. And if you miss him, he'd get upset. I was wondering what I was going to do, but I had a habit of looking guys down, looking him in the eye to psych him out. If he dropped his head, I knew I had the upper hand, but I was hoping he wouldn't because my knees were shaking at the moment. I wish I had started there at all after 10 years. Paused due to his age and extended absence from the sport, many questioned George Foreman's ability to compete at a high level when he made an...
When I was covering the Rumble in the Jungle in the 70s, 74, 75, when he fought in Jamaica and he fought in Venezuela in Caracas, when he fought in Zaire, Kinshasa, when he fought Norton, when he fought Frazier, and he absolutely eviscerated them. You got to remember what this guy achieved as a boxer, first of all. He won the Olympic, like you said, rightly said, in America, he's one of their greatest athletes. Won the Olympic gold for them in Mexico in 1968. As a real neophyte boxer, rather like Anthony Joshua did in London, where he hadn't had much of a career. You think after that, he turns pro, he beats Foreman. He beats Frazier, he beats Norton, and then he gets beaten by Ali. He's like Deontay Wilder and Mike Tyson rolled into one at the time. He's just destroying everyone. He's one of the biggest punchers of all time. I have interviewed him. I don't know how many times I interviewed him. Many, many, many times. And always through Bill Kaplan, his PR guy, who was his PR guy from the age of him being 18. And Bill's in his late 80s, and still PRing him to this day, this very day. It's a really sad thing because, like you say, what I wrote earlier on was that he filled up a room, big booming laugh, but not trying to command attention.